So, I went to my band director the other day and I asked him, can I switch instruments to, mayonnaise? And he said apparently mayonnaise is not an instrument. Hello everybody, welcome to my first positive review. So, for this review, we're going to be going over the episode of Spongebob Band Geeks. And that's why I use that introduction. It's a reference to my favorite line in this episode. SpongeBob nowadays is seen as a very bad show in terms of comparison to what it used to be. And that's honestly a fair comparison in my opinion. But to kind of show why, we're going to be going over one of the best episodes of old SpongeBob today and one of the worst episodes of modern SpongeBob next time. So, let's just get right into business and cover the episode of SpongeBob Band Geeks.
Yeah, we're with the pet hospital down the street, and I understand you have a dying animal on the premises.
This episode starts right away by packing in the humor, and it is hilarious the kind of jokes they pull in this episode. This episode has a lot of band jokes, and many jokes regarding to instruments in general, which as a band member in a high school band, I find these hilarious. I understand pretty much all of them. And there's just several that I'm not going to spoil too many for you. If you want to see them, go watch the episode. But it's just a very hilarious episode, and that's the episode's biggest strong point. That, as well as every character is a likable character in this. And if they're not, they get punished, and it's used for comedic effect. Everything in this episode is done flawlessly. The plot begins with Squilliam calling Squidward, telling him about his band and his success. Squidward getting jealous, complains about it, into which Squilliam basically just lets Squidward play at this big football game called the Bubble Bowl. Squidward doesn't have a band, of course, so he realizes that he's got to form one really. Squidward puts up a flyer with the very egotistical manner of saying, join our band, and through several hilarious setups, this ends up getting very many of the people we've seen throughout the series involved, as well as some others. And this episode is really gonna pack in the humor once again. And so, it's all comes up to practice, and everything seems to be going very poorly for Squidward, and essentially what's gonna happen is everyone sucks it up, and ruins everything for Squidward, or so it seems. This episode has a very simple plot, and before I get to the best part, I'd like to make one thing. This is one of SpongeBob's strong suits. It can take a very small plot and make it work. They're not trying to make some very over-dramatic plotline, or trying to appeal to any group or make some kind of message. Most of the time, it's just a funny scenario, which is very refreshing in a cartoon. Nowadays, at least, it seems like a lot of these shows that shouldn't be teaching morals are trying to teach morals. Or they're trying to make a message about how people want them to make morals, when that isn't necessarily true. Teen Titans Go, for example, has done this. Family Guy's tried to force in several morals that didn't need to happen. It's just kind of ridiculous, all these shows in. I mean, modern SpongeBob is guilty of this at times too. I mean, there's an episode Stuck in the Ringer where they parody a moral, and it just does not work because it's not a show that really needs morals. And if it does, they can't be really ham-fisted, and it just isn't the type of show really to do that stuff like parodying a moral. But now, I could complain about this stuff all day, and I might make a video about it sometime in the future, but let's just get into my favorite part of the episode, where I think it really shines. The second act and the song. The biggest reason why modern SpongeBob is not as good as this is the ending of this episode and how characters fall into place. Particularly Squidward. If this were a modern episode, all I am saying is that Squidward would not have gotten the happy ending. He would have been abused in some way. He would have been thrown into some terrible scenario. However, it looks like that they're going to go into that direction. Things are looking bad for Squidward in general. But SpongeBob delivers perhaps what is one of my favorite moments that SpongeBob himself has ever had. And that is his speech after the big brawl, which, if you don't know, they had a big fight with the instruments. It was hilarious, and the only reason I didn't show it is because I don't want to spoil that joke.
So if we all could just pretend that Squidward was a fireman or some guy in an ambulance, then I'm sure we could all pull together and discover what it truly means to be in a marching band.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's make Squidward proud. I mean, I know we haven't practiced instruments and we probably don't really even know them at all, but what could possibly go wrong? Alright, so 1, 2, 3, and... Was that good? Yeah, I think it was good. Let's go! Alright, so yeah, the only flaw this really has is the ending, and it's not even that big a one. It's just a technical standpoint of it really wasn't possible for them to pull that together because there's been no evidence that any of them can actually play those instruments. As far as we've all seen, they're all been terrible. I mean, the drummers put the sticks in their mouth during one point for a joke, so it's clear they don't really know what they're doing. But aside from that, the episode's really flawless, and it says something when the only flaw is from a technical standpoint of it's not possible, and it's a cartoon, so cartoon logic explains that away. It ends with Squidward and his band playing in the bubble and doing really well, to the point where Squilliam faints. So, that's the basic plot of the episode and some of the things about it. Little bit of trivia, this is actually Squilliam's first appearance, and what an episode to come in on. The characters in this episode were probably at their best they've ever been. SpongeBob was at his most likable. Patrick came off as really funny, and, well, I'll get to him later in the season why Patrick coming off as funny and genuinely stupid is such a big deal when I cover an episode where he's just flanderized beyond belief. But that was Band Geeks, and it's my favorite episode. If you agree, please let me know. If you disagree, please let me know. Tell me some other episodes. Any suggestions for any episodes will take, so leave them in the comment section below. I do have most Season 1 figured out right now, although changes are set to happen. So, just leave your suggestions and I'll see them. In regards to the next review I'm doing, we're going to be taking a look at another episode of SpongeBob. And I don't normally do 2 things in a row. In fact, the only other time I'm going to do this planned in the future is with the show Steven Universe far up ahead, and that's for its own reason and entirely. And in regards to what I'm doing next, it's the episode Slide Whistle Stooges. And it's going to be a negative review. And you'll see its problems last time, and it's a modern SpongeBob episode, and it's kind of a big example of some things that have changed from then to now. This episode, if you're wondering why it came out pretty much a day after my last review, is because the last one wasn't a full-on review and was relatively easy to make. So I spent a while on this one, and I had always planned for this one to be after that one so I could have 2 SpongeBob ones in a row. So, this one's been working on for longer than the last one. It's just the last one got done first. So, anyway, that's all I really got to say. I don't want to hold you for too long. I will see you in the next review. And, again, suggestions are welcomed. And also, I welcome criticism. If you have any suggestions to make my video better, I mean, I've already been told by someone that my lighting is an issue, which I will fix eventually when I can. I will try to find a solution. Right now, I've just been using my phone's flashlight for lighting, and clearly that's not working. I'm also planning on getting a camera to use for this instead of my iPad. But until then, this is what we're going to be dealing with. So, see you then. I hope you have a nice day.